Hi, this is just a short training video on Unit 3 of the ICT module. Unit 3 covers file management. There isn't a lot of new learning in file management, but it is worth your while when you're at the relatively early stages of this program to take a little bit of time to make sure you know how to store material and files effectively on your computer and memory stick. It can be really sickening when we hear of students who lose work because they maybe file things in the wrong place or deleted a folder by mistake or things like that. If you take a little bit of time now to just get on top of creating folders and files properly, it'll maybe save you a lot of grief later on. Okay, now the first thing, if we look at file management, we open up page 18. The first 7 questions just relate to, they're just questions about your computer, what happens, how to set up printers, what happens, how to find the help function, what file extensions, things like that. So it asks you just to answer these questions in a Word document, which I've opened up here. It asks us, if we look at item question 2, to name this document assignment. So we're just going to click File, Save As, I'm saving it on my memory stick, which is the F drive. Now this, obviously, depending on the type of computer you have and the version of Windows that you have, this could well be quite different on your computer, but it should be fairly easy to solve. So we're going to call this file, it asks us to call it assignment, you're going to call it your name, assignment. And it asks us, it doesn't ask us to put it into a folder or anything yet, just to save it as that. So that's it saved. And we click save. You're then going to just give answers to these questions 1, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. All you need to do is type the answers to these questions here. And obviously if you want to use, put in print screen or something like that, that's fine as well. But really we're just looking for 1 sentence, 2 sentence answers. You should just type the answers there. Right, so when you've answered all those questions, you obviously just save it. And then you can close it because we're not going to be using it for another little while. Okay. Now, moving on to question 8, it asks us to create a folder called College on your computer. So you always create folders in your file manager area, and this, you may in your computer get into your file management area through going to Start, which is probably down here. On my computer, it's here. So we open it up. Here you'll see all the different places you can save things on your computer. Desktop, downloads, different files for different things. Okay, so it asks us to create a folder called College on the computer. Now to do that, the easiest way to do it, we're inside here. We know we're inside in the F drive, which is my memory stick drive. Your memory stick could be called something else, or you might decide to put it in your desktop, which is fine as well. So we just save it. We just save the folder here on your. On my case, it's on my my memory stick, the F drive. And to do that, the simplest way. Sometimes you might see a new folder button here, and if you do, great. Just click it. That'll create a new folder. If you can also just right-click and go down to New and Folder. Now if you right-click inside in a file, you won't get those options, so it's important to right-click out here in the folder, but not in any specific file. So we want to call it College. And just be careful to keep track of this and tick things off as you complete it, because in this section particularly it's very easy to get sort of confused as to what things you've done or what you have to do. Okay, so the first thing we do is we create a folder called College. Then it asks us, this is item 9 now, it asks us to create two subfolders within the college folder, one named course list and another named student list. So we go into that folder. We can see we're in it because we can follow the path, which is computer, memory stick, folder called college, and it's empty. So simply enough to create two new folders there, we just go to new. First one is going to be called, what's it going to be called? Course list. Second one is going to be called, what's the second one called? The second one is called student list. Okay, that's fairly straightforward. Be very careful, it's very easy inadvertently go in here and create another subfolder. So basically create student list inside in course list. You don't want to do that. And the way you know that it's correct is you can see the path here. You can see there are two separate subfolders inside in college, which is on your memory stick. Okay, now number 10 asks us to create an Excel sheet. So we're going to just do that. Let me see. Start menu. Again, this could be well different on your computer. We go to Excel. We open up Excel. It's a blank worksheet. It asks us to create an Excel spreadsheet called courses. File, save as, computer. Recent folders pops up here. We don't want to put it into recent folders. We need to find the folder. Removable disk. And we save it within the course list folder. So to get to that, we know it's college and then course list. You can see how it does take a little bit of thinking and keeping on top of things to find yourself in the right place. Okay, we want to call it courses. And we save it within the course list folder. So that's how we know we're in the right place. File name courses, course list, which is a subfolder of this college. See, already it can get a little bit confusing, but that's just, if you follow this path here, you won't have any problems. Okay, so we save it, and now we will move on to doing what it asks us to do, which is insert the name of 3 languages. Irish, doesn't matter which ones you use. English, French. Okay, we now have 3 language courses, and save it, and you can see the name is correct there. We just click save. Okay, and then you want to close. Okay. Okay, number 11 asks us to do pretty much a similar sort of task with Microsoft Word. So I've opened up Word here. It asks us to create a Word document called Students and to save it within the student list folder. Okay, so we've opened up Word. We're going to save it. So we go to File, Save As, F drive. We're into college. We need to save it within the student list folder. So this is where it can get, you can very easily just do this in the wrong folder. So student list. Okay, so we need to save this one called students. That's done. You can just check that it's correct. It's PC, where it is on your computer. The name of the folder, the name of the subfolder, and then the name, finally, of the document, the file. It asks us to type 4 names into the document and save it. Close the document. Okay. Save. So, we're going to type 4 names into this. So we can type Bob, Bill, Barry, and Brendan. Okay, doesn't really matter what names you type in there. Okay, so type 4 names and save it. So we save it. And we're going to close it. Okay, done. So our next task, okay, and there are only 5 tasks left. Create a Word document called clip art. So we're going to click to save another Word document. So a Word document called clip art, and save it within the student list folder. So Microsoft Word, new, blank, and then we want to save it, create a Word document called clip art and save it within the student list folder. So in the same folder we want to create this document. So save as, computer, and sometimes it'll pop up there as recent documents, and that's just a little shortcut, but just make sure that you save it in this folder, college and student list. So you should already see that you have a Word document called students. Okay, create a Word document called clip art and save it within the student list folder. So we're going to call this clip art. And it's saved here. Now it asks us to insert any clip art picture into this document. So we're just going to insert anything into it. Picture. I don't care where you get. You can use clip art or any picture. It doesn't really matter. Okay, we'll use this one. So, and you'll remember how to do this from the Microsoft Word unit. Insert and then insert the picture. Okay. Now, all it asks you to do is put it in there. It doesn't ask you to change it, doesn't ask you to do anything with it. Save the document. And then close it. Okay, that's fairly, so far so good. Okay, I do strongly recommend when you're doing this to map it out on paper in front of you as you do things, because it just gets confusing if you don't. Okay, find the course, number 13, find the courses file in the course list folder and rename it language courses. So to do that, we just again go back to our file manager. And here it is on my computer. Okay. What I want to do is make sure that I'm in the right place, and I am. And then to find my memory stick, you can just here, you can see that's my memory stick. That's my folder called colleges. If I look back, I know where the course list folder, I know where the courses file is, so I just open up the courses. It asks me to rename this file, this Excel file, language courses, and that's very simple to do. You just right click it, scroll down to rename, and then rename, what does it ask us to rename? Language courses. It's probably a good idea to just get into the habit of doing this. Oftentimes students upload things, upload files with the most ridiculous names. So it's always good to have your name and the name of the assignment in the file, just in case somehow it gets lost, confused or whatever. You know, and also to just make sure you call things the final draft and that, just so that we know, because it has happened where people have uploaded what they thought was the final draft, but wasn't, because they didn't name their files properly, and it did cause a bit of confusion. It's usually things we can solve, but it's better if we don't have to. Okay, so it now asks us, that was number 13, find the course list and rename it. Number 14 is move the clip art file to the course list folder. So this is the course list folder, and we want to get out of that. We want to go to the clipart file. And the clipart file is in the student list folder. So to go back, and this is the best way really to just travel through your computer. This little arrow here. Okay. So we find the course list folder, and which we know is in we find the clipart, we find the clipart file, which is in the student list folder. So we open that up. We find the clipart file. We want to move that. And the most straightforward way to move something is to just go to it, right click, and cut. You can always, as well, if you're moving things to different parts of the computer, just drag. For instance, if you wanted to move this to your desktop, drag it. But for something like this, where you can't see where you want to put it right in front of you, if that makes sense, just use like you would cut and paste. So just highlight it, right click. What's happening there? Oh, they're in the wrong place. So again, if you're not on the file, you won't be able to do what you want to do. So we want to move it. So we're not copying it, we're moving it. We're moving the clipart file to the course list folder. So we are going to cut this, go back to the course list folder, and paste it. And that's it. You can of course always use clipart, or Control and V as well if you want to do that. Okay, and trust me, this does take a little bit of just taking your time and going through it carefully and slowly. Okay, so that's number 14 done. Number 15 is find out which file has the smallest size in either this folder or the other student list one. Okay, so 8 kilobytes, 458 kilobytes, 12 kilobytes. So it's the obvious answer is 8 kilobytes. So and the file name there is language courses. So you want to type that answer into this document. And the answer, what was the answer? The answer is number 15, and the answer is language courses. Okay, and save it and close it. So I'm going to just double check that that's correct. College, course list, language courses, and clipart 458 because it's big, it's a picture, and student list is just the 112 kilobyte file. Okay, so that's number, and then we've put it into the document and we've it saved, and I'm just double checking it there. Okay, now what we want to do is we've saved the assignment file, which is, if we close this down, we have the assignment file is here on your memory stick, but it's not in your college folder. So what you want to do is place the Word document assignment into the college folder. Now you can cut and paste that, or you can just move it like this. Double check that it's in there. Yeah, it's obviously in there. So you should have 2 folders and this assignment file all finished and all completed. Now you're going to want to upload this to the Equal Ireland e-learning site, or email it. You don't need to email it in this case, so just upload it. Now in order to do that you need to zip the folder. If you want to email a folder or upload it or anything like that on a computer, you need to be able to zip it, because you cannot just click a folder and upload a regular folder. It'll just bring you into individual files in the folder, and you don't want that. The way you do that is you just get the folder, open it, right click, go down to compressed zipped folder and just click it. It'll now create an alternative folder which will either look like 3 or 4 little books, or it'll look like a little folder with a zip on it. If it has a zip on it, you will be able to upload it, no problem, just like a regular file to Moodle. Okay, and that's it. It's also a good way if you have maybe 10 different files. You might have sometime on the course you'll have more than one file or more than one document, and rather than having to upload 3 or 4 different files, if you put them all into the one folder and zip the folder, and you can upload it like that, when you go into Moodle you can just upload this like you would a regular file. Okay, that's it. I hope that was helpful. Do take care to, like I said, take notes as you're going through this, because it's very easy to make mistakes. And that's it. Any questions at all with any of this or any part of the ICT module, just pick up the phone and give me a call, and I'll happily go through things with you. Okay, that's it. Thanks for watching.